Okay. Unfortunately, not what I thought. There were some fairly old buffalo tracks. I thought I saw a rhino track. It's very, very difficult to determine. Oh, good question then. Welcome to Jack. I'd like to know how I got this job. Basically, I've always been interested in animals ever since I can remember, and I've always wanted to see the animals in the wild. But I actually want I'll just get to the top. I thought we were doing too well. Okay, now we should back to other areas. Well, apparently you guys had an awesome yawn from the hippo at Gowrie Dam, so at least that was well timed. But one of the few times nature will work with us. They always say don't work with children and animals. It's on the other end of the spectrum, they're always so rewarding. But yeah, just to come back to the question from Jack in Florida. As I say, I've always wanted to live the experience, so that's what pushed me into sort of getting an education in zoology. And I was lucky enough to go and do some volunteering at the zoo when I was 16, our local zoo. And from there I did part-time work there as a keeper and learnt a lot about animal behaviour there. And it kind of helped me through my university years as well, and to kind of put into sort of practice and to kind of understand what was being taught. And I went back into the zoo for a good couple of years after that to work with the large animals like the tigers and the lions and the rhino and the giraffe, and I was there for a good couple of years after. But I've always had this need to be out in the wild, and I went to Sumatra in my last year of university to go and visit the Sumatran Tiger Project, which the zoo supported. We used to send money out there, and I went out into the bush with the guides in the bush to go and have a look for, or just to see what they were doing, putting the camera traps out and understanding how tigers had the territories and things like that. And we slept out in the bush one night, and as we were walking to the campsite, I had Tony, who was my guide, and he was pointing out to me where Sumatran rhinos had eaten, and bears had climbed the trees, and tigers had sort of scent marked and everything. And I just thought, wow, I would love to be able to do this. and after a couple of years at the zoo, one of my colleagues had gone to do a month course in the African bush, learning how to track and a bit about the plants and the animals and everything. I thought, that sounds great, but if I'm going to do it, I want to do it properly, and I want to be out there for a good 6 months or so. So I found the Bush Academy on the internet, and at the time that was the only one that came up with a course. So it said that it would train you for 6 months and then place you in a lodge for 6 months. And I thought, you know what, sounds great. So I left the zoo and sold my house to come out here.